Hey y'all, love y'all. How you doing? Ooh, that's the kiss. She be killing me. I just looked at one of her hamburger videos. But anyway, this is your girl DVD. How you doing? I'm about to give y'all a real quick piping hot tea. I'm gonna wrap it up and get it all the way together and just give you a few thoughts on what is going on in the YouTube streets, baby. Okay, so first story I want to talk about is CARISHA, please. So, just a quick few things that I zeroed in on. CARISHA. CARISHA is beautiful, y'all. You know, I always thought she was a pretty girl, but seeing her so vulnerable, I saw her in a different light, and I was like, wow. I mean, that is true. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, because when people were saying she just looks so much better than JT, I never saw it. And so she has this interview with Saucy Santana. She's in control of the interview. She's in control of the questions. And Saucy is being very professional with her, but I'm pretty sure that he knew when to scale back and when to hit her with the 1-2, right? So they talked about she and JT breaking up. Okay, now I couldn't care less about them breaking up. You know why? I don't know them people. All I know is it's time for the twerkulator. It's time for the twerkulator. And if I saw JT in the grocery store right now, I wouldn't know who she was. I'm just saying. Now, she didn't discuss that horrible acting job she had done over there on BMF, but I ain't one gospel, so y'all didn't hear it from me. So everything was alleged, in my opinion. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. You hit that like button and you push me up in the algorithm. And who needs to be pushed up in the algorithm? Your girl, DVD. Like I said, I've been doing this thing a whole year. Got over 500 in odd videos. And I'm still not monetized. And I'll tell you why. One of the reasons is because you're not liking the videos. I have a video going right now with Basketball Wives. Got over 600 views and 4 likes. That don't add up. So, love y'all. Hit the like button. Anyway, so she talks about she and JT, and I am really proud of her for still sticking with the whole JT wanted to do her own thing. We've had disagreements in the past. There is no more group. And the reason why that I wanted to have things lined up is because, you know, I'm the talentless one in the group. She didn't say that, I did. But, you know, they say JT is the writer. But without CARISHA, there would be no JT. I mean, she held it down and vice versa, okay? She held it down for CARISHA when she was in prison, when JT was in prison. So I see it like this. You write the songs and the records, and I go out here and twerk and do the twerkulator until you get out of jail, okay? So she also talked about, and you know, what do we want to know more than anything? Her whole relationship with Diddy. So I see it just the way I saw Cardi B and Offset's relationship. I saw it as not a win-win situation, but the only person that's winning is Diddy. That's how I saw it initially. But I understand what she's saying. She wanted to gain knowledge from him. It wasn't just about the ex and, well, you know, but the ex in front of him and him making her to be one of his little puppet million wives. But she really wanted to get to know how he did business. Girl, I hope it wasn't illegal part. Because allegedly, Diddy done became allegedly, again, all around undercover area killer, if you would know what I mean. Okay? So allegedly, you know, it's a string of people that his name is connected to under the radar. But she was like, I didn't meet him at a time when he was doing all of that. I met him at a time. Well, of course, you know, he in his retirement ages. That's why he latched himself on to you, baby. You know how leeches, even though he was the one with the money, that's irrelevant. He still was siphoning your youth, my dear. That's what old ass men do. That's why I was dating this old ass man, and he was very controlling, and I thought that he really liked me. But then I realized once he said he don't like to date women under 45 and he was in his 60s, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave him alone. This was a soul suck. It is very rare that you'll date an old ass man like Diddy and they ain't getting something out the deal. I don't care how much they leverage you with gifts, they are getting something out of it. So she was talking about how, you know, she just then, you know, she went with him for the Chanel bag. I'm sure that helped because I thought he had bought a Maybach. But those things that he was buying to me are just like me going to the store buying penny candy. Just little trinkets, okay? But she said, and CARISHA is right. She did get something in exchange for kicking it with him. She learned things, and she basically has a little small empire that she's growing. And I admire that about her. So she also talked about how the experience with the other women wasn't her experience. My goodness. Girl. Now, I'm just going to tell you, like I tell the rest of them, in the words of my father, Albert Jr. I don't know about that. Now, you can say all the things you want to say out your personal lips to my personal ears, but my personal mind don't see it. My personal mind says that you have gotten a little knot upside your head as well. Allegedly. Now, I ain't one gospel, so you didn't hear this from me, but I don't know if she was, you know, going back upside his head, or in the words of Rodney DeVos, if he was knocking her head between the dishwasher and the sink. I don't know about any of that, but it is very rare. And here I go in my psychology bag. Let me pull some things out for you. You ready? It is very extremely rare that a man who did what I saw him do on the video with Cassie, that doesn't do that to all people. Okay? Women especially. You know, to me, there's a whole little thing about how women are the weaker sex. And I don't agree with that. I think that women are the stronger of the two. However, muscle mass and body shape and bone structure physically makes them stronger. But mentally, not so much. Emotionally, not so much. Just because a woman can cry at the drop of a hat, that does not mean that she is showing weakness. To me, if you don't cry, that shows weakness. Because my daddy cried. My daddy cried when my mom went to the hospital when she first got diagnosed with the cancer, the CC, the colon cancer. My daddy was upset. He didn't want his baby in the hospital, okay? Getting those surgeries. And he told me he loved my mama, and he cried to me. And I told my dad, I said, Daddy, I know they say a man ain't supposed to cry, but if you feel like you got to cry, let it out. Because holding in tears is like holding in doo-doo. It will kill you. In my opinion. And, you know, in my psychology bag. Said all that to say, going into my psychology bag, I don't believe her. I don't believe that she ain't never got a little knot upside the head like Eric over there on Basketball. Okay? How is it that this man is a possible serial miller? Put a K in front of it. And a serial, we know for sure, batterer. And he ain't knock you upside your head, girl. Who you think you talking to? And you young and tender too. And then you was passing out the pink stuff on the border phone, which is how your name got dragged into this in the first place. And being his mix worker. Girl. Now, come on now. Now, like I said, I don't take anything away from you, CARISHA, girl. You know, I admire you. Again, I think you're a very beautiful young lady, okay? So, moving right along to the next story. We're going to talk about Mr. Al. Oh, Mr. Al, Mr. Al. Mr. Al Reynolds. Mr. Al Reynolds got quite a little mouth on him, don't he? Mm-hmm. Y'all will see him in those, that's me playing Candy Crush. Look at that. When you don't have to be on camera, baby, you can do whatever you want to do. The Candy Crush, yeah, Candy Crush, they're talking. But I really was trying to pull up the articles about Mr. Al. Mm-hmm. Just so happened that I was playing Candy Crush previously. But, yeah. So, Mr. Al is in a bit of hot water. Now, let me tell you what I saw about Al. I saw Funky defending Al like he was a delicate flower. I saw what appeared to be his friend Sean defending Al like he's a delicate flower. But like Armand Wiggins said, it's one thing that we haven't seen, right? We haven't seen Al defend himself. See, Al is one of those mean girl bitches. He's a Roger George, if you will. You know, Regina George. So we're going to call him Roger George. So if I say Roger George, I'm talking about Mr. Al. Because what Roger Georges do is they act just like Regina, right? Except for he's a mean bisexual instead of a mean girl. So we're going to talk a little bit about Roger George. Now, Roger George, when I first saw him lose his shit, it was him talking about Armand and that roast. He lost his shit when he was talking to Funky Dineva. Right? Another one of his protectors. So then we learned through the roast that he loses his shit pretty often. You know, Claudia was saying all along, you know, I guess, you know, he and Claudia was supposed to be friends, and I guess she just never experienced that side of him. That must have been what it was. Because when he did lose his shit, he really lost his shit. I mean, he was talking to that damn EP like she was the dirt up under his shoe. I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be doing that. You let people drag me in. You ain't fucking correcting them. Yes. Al. Messy Al. Al was in an uproar. Let me correct myself because, hey, there's some English professors out there. But that probably don't watch my videos, but how you doing? So, when my girl Wendy was on TV, she always had issues with Al. And Al always played fucking victim. And I used to, because Wendy was such a strong presence. And it wasn't, she used to always say she was soft and pink, right? But she had such a strong presence in TV that I never believed that she was anything but that. I saw Wendy as a superwoman, super perfectionist. You couldn't touch her. But when she talked about Al and how he had confronted her on a plane one time, I really felt like she was rattled a little bit. And by that time, I believe that her and Kevin was on the rocks. So she had lost her protection. And I think a lot of what happened when she and Kev divorced was, her missing her protection. That was that more than anything. So if you can recall, she had scaled back a lot. So he had to catch her when she was in her scale back phase. But I never liked Al, I put it that way. But I never thought that it was the reason why I didn't like him was because he could be so shady and low-key nasty up on the table. And I have to say, when Funky did his interview with Carlos, I agreed with him up to a certain degree. I'll tell you why. Because deep down inside, I knew Al was this innocent, shrieking flower. And then we see him just laying into this EP like he didn't work for her. I'm unprotected. I have told you to let me go. Let me go. So if you don't want to let me go, now he on the contract now. By the way, he's supposed to be this brand ambassador, brand manager on the contract and showing his yellow behind. So if you don't let me go, this is what you're going to get. Wow. Al. Roger George, you really did a whole temper tantrum to your boss. You let go on this woman like she worked for you, when it is definitely the other way around, because showrunners are the bosses. That's always was my understanding. Because let me just say this. I first found out how production companies work from Lucille Ball. Shout out to Lucille Ball. The first woman who owned her own production company. See, the name of the production company was Desi Luke. It should have been Luke Desi. Because she was the brains and the fucking actress of that operation. So I learned that producers are the ones who produce the funds. And EPs produce the ideas. Right? And they direct you and guide you. Okay? And they guide the other producers, and because that's executive. That EP title means just a little bit more than everybody else. And I'm not talking about the one with the vanity title. Like Shawnee, we about to find out. We about to find out what Shawnee does if Jackie stays on the show. Okay? Because that's her and Evelyn's MO. They try to get other people off the show. But so Al decided that Al, Al asked Miss Wendy, you say, Al, you doing? Roger Al. He decided that he was gonna throw the show because they wouldn't let him go. So now that we know what happened, do you feel like Wiggins and Claudia are somewhat vindicated? Of course they are. course they are. Because for the simple fact that, even though Armand came into a situation where he was, 4 years into the show behind everybody else, they all knew what Al had been doing behind the scenes. How he and Funky had gotten together allegedly and putting little bugs in Armand's ear about Claudia. Now, Claudia and Armand have, confirmed that. So the only thing I can say in this situation to these people, be blessed. Shout out to Miss what her name over there? What her name? Melody Cherie. Be blessed on your journey. And pretty much that's it. You can only go so far with people before they're going to provide proof that you were not nice and that you were not nice to them. But baby, I saw through you, not because you are transparent and cold, but I saw through you because you are transparent in the way that you speak and the way that you speak to people.